packed and loaded and now leaving the Blackwood campsite. Got about 18 k's to get to Gregory Brook. It's a short stage bailing up to Donnelly River into Gregory Brook this afternoon, and then tomorrow into Donnelly River Village. First time, as we mentioned, that we've been in the tents for a little while. Quite pleasant, good night's sleep. A lot of pigs, you could hear them rustling and munching around the place. And a lot of cows, you could hear them mooing their heart's content, especially in the early hours of the morning. But we're about to come over a little rise, and then thankfully for us, we're heading north to south because we're going to be descending Cardiac Hill. Great name, isn't it? We will need to be careful though, because there is a fair bit of morning dew on the ground at the moment. Anyway, not so much onwards and upwards today, but at the start, onwards and sleepily downwards. Base of Cardiac Hill. That's right where it ends, folks. An assessment from Judith.
Well, it's actually quite brutal going downhill, so going uphill would be awful.
It might be quite, I mean, it must be soul destroying because you're about 1.4 kilometres from camp after 18 kilometres of walking, and that's what you've got to finish the day with.
I know. No, it was lovely though, beautiful with the light.
Yeah, and some magnificent views, but thankfully for our knees, we don't have to brake too much in the near future. We're sort of down on the valley floor. We've got to climb again, no doubt about that, but for now, goodbye to Cardiac Hill. Making friends?
Well, obviously not. Hello, Moo-Moo. Oh, look at the little Moo-Moo.
You've got plenty to eat.
Aww.
Well looked after. And thank you to those that own the Homestead for allowing Bibbulmun Track walkers to come wandering through. The remnants in the distance there of the Southampton Homestead, which is actually one of the oldest buildings in the district. But unfortunately, when a bushfire came through here in 2013, that historic building was destroyed. Great shame. Thank you again, Judith.
My pleasure.
Right down on the banks of the Blackwood. We were told about this by someone recently. Have a look at that. Weary walkers, help yourself. What a lovely thing for people to do. What would you like, Judith?
I'm going to have a banana.
You're going to have a banana. See, I would have liked a banana, but...
Half a banana?
No, I'm going to have a lovely apple. Take a little break early on in the day here on the banks of the Blackwood. sky all of a sudden's become quite gloomy, so we've just taken a short break to put our pack covers on. Also got our ponchos handy, so it does appear with the more leaden sky that we could have a little bit of rain. I don't think it'll be heavy, but as always, best to get your wet weather gear organised before it actually starts raining. What have you found?
Well, it's just that there don't have to bend down to take a photo level.
Which at our age with heavy packs is probably not a bad thing.
Oh, it's brilliant. So I've actually got a good photo.
Excellent. Back walking on some old railway formation here, old logging industry track. You can see the little bit of an embankment on either side of where we're walking.
So this one is the most awkward so far when you've got little legs. So I'm going to have to kind of shuffle myself over this.
Look away now, folks.
Oh, shuffle. I don't want to ruin my shorts. There we go. Very ladylike.
Excellent. All captured on film too. Up and over the last little climb of the day. So once again we've climbed just over 500 metres today, and now we've got about a 750 metre run gently downhill into our campsite for tonight. Getting awfully close, because there's the toilet. Well, here we are, Judith, Gregory Brook.
Gregory Brook.
Guess who's in front of us?
My God, it's the Kiwis.
Gregory Davis.
You can spot him for a long way. Spot him from a long way away. Hello, Gregory. Out here with his
Welcome to my
camera.
lodge.
Thank you. I'm glad you've allowed us to come. Hello, Victoria.
Hello.
How's your day been?
All the better for seeing you.
Oh, we'll just wrap it right there, and I'm just going to hit pause.
Welcome to Jude's Tech Talk. This time I actually have to climb up somewhere. So, these are not weird things. These are very high strength fishing line with a carabiner, because mostly mice can't get down those. So at night when we finish with all our gear, just grab the backpack, clip on, Bob's your uncle. Except for I have an extra device, which is peppermint oil, which I spray to make it smell nice. Well, no, to get rid of the mice. And last night we had mice scurrying around everywhere, and I had mice poo right by my bed. So, safest way we know, even though there are stories of them actually travelling down here, but best I can do.
A little bit of an earlier start this morning. It's 6:05. Not exactly town day, it's going to be village day. We're heading to Donnelly River Village, an old forestry logging camp. And we've got a little cottage there. Already our New Zealand friends, Greg and Victoria, are off. Jude's just a little bit in front. There was a little bit of rain overnight on the hut roof. Today though, the forecast is fine. There will be some cloud around, which at least will make it a bit cooler. Excuse me as I get over a big log. About 21 k's. A little bit of climbing in the first couple of kilometres, and then pretty much smooth and roll into Donnelly Village and sleep in a real bed. Quite beautiful walking through this part of the track this morning, just coming out of the campsite, because it's been freshly trimmed. It's one of the great features of the Bibbulmun. Volunteers all the way down the track look after certain sections, and if this hadn't been trimmed, we would have had the experience that we had 2 weeks ago now, I suppose, where when you walk through an area like this, it's like it's pouring with rain. You get saturated by the early morning dew. But the volunteers around here have done their bit very recently. You can hear the cockatoos, and you can see bits of leaf and nuts and the likes that they have discarded, having chewed through overhead what they needed. As always though, very raucous early in the morning. Would you like me to get some video?
Well, just look, just scan.
That's pretty.
Purple.
Couple of days away from passing the halfway point of the track, but today, right at this very moment, Judith, is a very special event.
It's our first carry tree. The first of many, I believe.
Quite stunning and hard to miss that white colour once the bark peels off. And you can see why it's regarded as one of the tallest trees in the world, as I nearly do my back in bending back to film it all. This is quite something, walking through the majesty of a karri forest. Just the enormity, the height of these particular trees inside the top 5 tallest trees in the world. But they're beautiful light coloured trunks once they're darker bark sheds. It really is some of nature's great majesty. How tall are you, Jude?
Short.
5 foot.
4 1/4.
Oh, a quarter. Last time you told me 3/4. You're shrinking on this walk. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is the elegant way when you're 5 foot 4 1/4.
I've got a bad back.
And a bad back. And getting on, advancing in years.
I just don't want to ruin my shorts.
Any more than they are.
Oh.
Congratulations. How's Rabbit going there?
I don't know, but I can't get up.
Do you want a hand? Oh, well done.
Well, that wasn't very professional, was it?
Oh, elegance as always. Onwards we go. Just a tiny little detour off the track and we've reached Willow Springs picnic and camping area. Looks quite beautiful. Plenty of pine needles around. Toilet. And some picnic benches. Quite delightful.
Yeah, then that it's not the 2 women, because there's one of them around. They're doing them under video, okay.
A delightful little stop, 10 kilometres into the day, which means we've only got 11 to go and hardly any climbing, so it's going to be a relatively early arrival at Donnelly River Village, which we're quite happy about as well. Well, this is a nice place for a tea break.
Table, chair,
Very good.
tea,
There's only one thing missing.
the cucumber sandwiches.
No, somewhere for me to sit. Typical of you. Oh, okay. Oh, right up the back? Just up near the fern and the moss up there.
Yep.
Okay, you do table service?
No.
Okay. Right on the outskirts of Donnelly Village now, which is where we'll be staying tonight, the end of stage 4 of the north to south Bibbulmun Track trek. We've been walking alongside, at a distance now, the Donnelly River. It's actually named after a British admiral who was a friend of the wife of the first governor of Western Australia, James Stirling, who settled the Swan River colony, WA, after arriving in 1829. Donnelly Village, the original name was actually Wheatley, but nowadays it's simply known as Donnelly River Village. It was founded back in the 1950s by the Bunnings brothers. Bunnings nowadays is the largest hardware chain in Australia, owned by the massive West Farmers Group. And from the 1950s, when they put a steam mill in here, which is the only one in the southwest of Western Australia, in fact it's been heritage listed, it employed a lot of people from the community for around 30 years, till the late 1970s, when the WA Forestry Department changed its policies and as a result decided to close down the mill here. And it's now been turned into somewhat of a tourist attraction. Jude's just wandered in there, the Donnelly River General Store, which is nowadays a cafe. It also supplies both cyclists on the Mundabiddy and walkers on the Bib with some stock if they need to get it. There are also 35 old workers' cottages here. We're going to be staying in one for the next 2 nights. But one of the other great attractions here at Donnelly River is the fact that wild animals come in. And there's one of them right there, an emu. Kangaroos come in as well, plentiful native birds. You can actually buy special seed to be able to feed them, but no doubt over the next couple of days we'll show you plenty of them. Here's another emu very elegantly striding past. In the background there are some of the 35 workers' cottages. All the information on Donnelly River Village tells us that there are 35 workmen's cottages, which is a bit odd because we are in number 37. If you're wondering where number 37 is, it's the furthest point away from where you come in to actually get your key. This is directly over the road from our cottage. It is the town oval. It was actually laid out initially, if you can believe it, as a trotting track back in the very late 1940s. And there were timber running rails painted white by the local ladies apparently around the perimeter of the racetrack. And back in October 1956, according to the local information here, they held their first major sports day. Things like log chopping, there was some trotting, there was some boxing, tree felling with circular saws, all types of things. But there are still some tennis courts around here, this little village. But nowadays there's a little synthetic cricket pitch in the middle here. I don't think you'd have to hit the ball too hard to make it score a boundary. It's a pretty small cricket ground ringed by magnificent forest trees.
Yeah, I know they say they don't like being stroked, but this one seems to have like a little bit of a... Oh, that's nice. Get rid of those kangaroo ticks. Oh, they're beautiful.